Hey, before we do anything, we need to really send our condolences to Jaydayoungin. We're going to drop them Jaydayoungins in the comment section. We're going to drop them 23s and we're going to subscribe to the channel before we do anything. I want to let y'all know one thing. The gas stations don't play because they have footage on every angle of the building. If you look at an acute angle and you can see that if you look up, it's two cameras on this side, it's two cameras on that side. They had to follow him leaving Chevron. Once they saw him at Chevron, it was over with because it could be anybody at the in the cars, like literally at the Chevron. Like y'all gotta really take heed and pay attention to what happened with Dolph, RP Dolph, man. Like at the end of the day, we know for a fact Highway 21 ain't that far from it. They had to see him at the gas station and follow him from Highway 21 all the way down to the house. And this is something that we all need to really pay attention to because this is what you call not being aware. You have to look out every mirror. You have 3 mirrors that you can look out of, and you can actually turn around and see behind you. You got to be on them mirrors because you don't want to get caught in no lane because they can follow you from 5, 6 cars back. And we all know for a fact, we all know this, Jaydayoungin didn't play that. He did not play those games. Every time he was in that car, he was either doing a dash or he was real live going over the speed limit just so they won't be able to keep up with him. And he'll be able to see somebody like peek out the lane trying to make sure he ain't turn off or nothing.
Exactly. And so look, the fact that the gas station footage and the Ring doorbell from the neighbor, those two footage, the footage is owned by a third party. So they're not going to release the footage. The third party company already bought the footage for $300,000. Okay, they did that literally 3 hours after everything happened. And so if anybody knows anything about how footage works in third parties and all that, security footage, it could be edited once it's bought by somebody. And so what happens is that they could blur it out. They could actually, what you really need to do is listen and see if the person on the footage actually has the license plate. And so what they want is they want the license plate to show on the footage. And so that's what they're going to be looking for. But look, guys, the footage could be edited because it's owned by a third party. And so they're going to actually sell the footage. So the family is going to have to buy the footage back to even be able to see what the plates were. But here goes what the footage is going to show, because the gas station manager, we talked to him, and what happened is that they said the dude with the white truck that actually followed Jaydayoungin dad and was one of the people who crept in the bushes, they said that he was in the gas station with no mask on, nothing like that. And so what happened is that he was over by the Gatorade, and when he seen Jaydayoungin dad come in and get the Newports, he seen exactly who it was. So he dropped everything. He told the register lady to keep the change. He didn't even want the 80 cents, and he didn't even get the gas he paid for. They just filled it up as much as it could go, and he told them, hey, you could keep the rest of the money. I didn't even use the 50 that we put the gas in. And so what happened is that once he seen Jaydayoungin dad take off at the car, that's when they put the mask on and started following him. And then the Ring doorbell, you could see the footage. It shows them coming from the right, and you see Jaydayoungin dad pull into the driveway. When he pulls into the driveway, the white truck comes and blocks the driveway, and then you see the two guys already coming out of the bushes because another car was coming from the other side, and they had gotten over the neighbor's fence, which caused the recording to go off because it's motion detector cameras. So the motion detector cameras, when somebody walks by them, they start blinking the recording. And the people, they got the notification, but they weren't looking at their phone because they was cooking the Southern Louisiana shrimp boil. And when they was doing the shrimp boil, it's too much steam and it's too hot, so they had to put the phone somewhere else. And they didn't notice that it was a notification from the Ring doorbell saying that somebody just jumped the fence. So by the time that they had looked over and seen it, it was too late. The rounds already went off, and they had to duck into their kitchen, and almost burnt the shrimp. And so what happened is after that, that's when they actually had to save that footage, because the third party company immediately knew it was like tied to this. So that's when they took it. And the people who bought it from the third company was TMZ. That's how they got the footage. They only bought the footage to show it. They only got the footage to show it because of the fact that they know that they can get more money from the footage than if it was just to go out, and the people from the neighbors weren't even gonna know what to do with the footage. Like they knew it was somebody that lived next door, but they didn't know Jaydayoungin was there. They don't know anything about rappers. And so the neighbors, luckily, they got contacted, and that's when they started to talk with TMZ. And that's how TMZ got the whole story between the dad, because they already bought the footage.
I can see where the speculation came from. Anyone in their right mind will really look at the fact that Jaydayoungin didn't do nothing to nobody. He didn't go out there and drill nobody. He rapped about a lot of things. Jaydayoungin, he was a sweet kid. At the end of the day, we all know that he was one of the brothers. We know for a fact that Jaydayoungin, he hung with the shooters, but you have to understand the people who he hang with, you can't judge him for who he hang with. If his people into it with somebody, he's involved regardless of if he committed an act or not. So we all need to look at one thing. Jaydayoungin didn't deserve what he got at that time that he got it, in the situation that he got it in. If he wouldn't have never had that car sitting outside, he could have put the car in the garage, but it was already two cars in the garage, which makes me think like, dang man, y'all, he'd still be alive if y'all would have just wanted, like literally, I know how it is if you living with your OG or your auntie and them. They like, this is my house, so you got to park outside. You could park in the driveway, but you cannot park inside the garage, because we want to walk outside the house and go straight into the car and pull right off. We don't want to have to go through this door, go through that door, and then go through the car door and pull off. We don't want to do that. We don't want to have to ask nobody to move their car from behind us. Like, at the end of the day, we know for a fact that Jaydayoungin, he played a big role in a lot of things that was going on in Louisiana. That was because he was a stepper. You have to understand the type of life that he lived. Like, he lived a certain type of lifestyle. He had money when he was little. He had money when he first jumped off the porch, y'all. A lot of them had to sign a deal to get the money. And people not really realizing what's going on. And like, when people play the ops music, like, you have to understand, once dude left from the gas station, he was playing one of the ops music. You can't play the ops music because people hear it and people see like, oh, he must be from the other side. He must be really with them people. Like, we all know this, man. And I want everybody to really take heed to this, man, because you shouldn't get taken out the game or get sent up just for a countless act. Should nobody even have the authority to even step foot in your lane or in your vicinity, especially when you this type of caliber of a man. Like, you gotta understand, he was a young man who had money. It's guys in his neighborhood who didn't have money, who was standing at the gas station, which made me think like a lot of people had a part in it from seeing his car, because it was multiple people standing at the gas station. And we all know it's people asking for change, it's people trying to wash your windows off, it's people even over there digging in the garbage. So we all know this for a fact, and we need to really take heed to this, because like, we don't want our cousin to do this. We don't want our brother to go down that route. So, man, subscribe to the channel for the new updates. And I want you guys to get in the comment section and let me know, do you think Jaydayoungin car was the intended target when he got off I-21 and went to the house? Like, Jaydayoungin was on house arrest. Jaydayoungin was not even in the car. So was whoever was in the car, do you think they were the intended target? Let me know that in the comment section and throw them 23s behind it.